Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Gina, and in today's video I am doing some propagating. I'm propagating, can you guess? You can kind of see what's going on here. These are Hoyas, so I have a bunch of Hoyas I needed to propagate for my shop. And I figured instead of doing it just all by myself, I would bring you guys along with me because you might find it interesting. You might even grab some of your own projects you need to do. Maybe you have your own propagating to do. Now, most likely you are not going to be propagating as many things as I am. I have counted up. Some of this I still have to cut. Like this, oops, I don't want to break it. Don't want to break it. This here, I still have to cut this up. But many of these, and there's a few others in here I still have to cut up. Most of the stuff in here has been pre-chopped. And the reason I did that was so that it has time to callus, to like harden off before I start sticking them into my pots, my planters. So there's, I counted up, there's like 40. There should be 40. We're going to be making 40 new propagations. So I hope you are up for the task with me. Like I said, I think I said, go ahead and grab your own projects, fold some laundry, get a drink, get a nice drink, get a snack. And yeah, sit back for this long haul of propagating plants. So yeah, that's the plan. So, okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way temporarily. I've got my little potting mat, though I don't really need it. The only reason I have this potting mat out is because I have to chop up some of these Hoyas and they're gonna get messy. It's gonna be messy. And the reason it's messy is because, as you know, Hoyas, they drip their little waxy, drippy, it's like blood. It looks like blood, except it's white. It's not blood, but it kind of reminds me of blood because you're cutting the plant and then it's dripping. It's like injured and it's dripping. It's like blood, except it's white. It's white blood. So anyway, look at all this. There are 20 pots here. These are 3-inch pots. I have 2 trays of these pots, 40 altogether, which I think I have 40 Hoyas. They have been pre-moistened. So I pre-filled every one of these pots. In the past, I filled them with you, but if you remember one of my last videos, I discovered that pre-moistening the pots makes it so much easier. The plants go in easier, especially when they are larger leaf Hoyas and they're kind of floppy and they want to flop out of the pot. If your soil is moistened, pre-moistened, the wet soil kind of grabs onto the plant and keeps it from flopping out. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I highly recommend pre-moistening your soil before you start planting your cuttings. Okay, so let me show you, let's talk about my soil mix. So I use a chunky aeroid soil for my Hoyas. I use it for many plants in my collection. The only ones I don't use it for would be African violets. They don't use this soil. Cacti succulents don't get this soil. And what else? Pinguiculas don't get this soil. Okay, so what it is, the base, the main portion of this mix is Fox Farms Ocean Forest soil. So I do a 3-1-1 ratio for my soil. So I use a 6-inch pot and I put in 3 of those 6-inch pots filled with Fox Farms Ocean Forest soil into a big tub. So 3 of those go in. What else goes in? So we have perlite. That is the white you see here. I put 1 6-inch pot filled with perlite into the bin. And then the other ingredient is orchid bark, which is the brown. And that is also 1 6-inch pot filled with orchid bark into the bin. And then I mix it all up. So that's a 3-1-1 ratio of Fox Farms Ocean Forest, soil, perlite, and orchid bark. And then my bin is pretty big, so I usually go through that ratio like 3 times. And that gives me quite a bit of soil. I mean, I filled 40 pots here, and I still have like over half my bin left. So anyway, that is my soil. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get our mat back up here because we are going to start. Darn it. Did I drop? I did. I lost a leaf. And it's bleeding. See that? It's bleeding because I knocked a leaf off. Luckily, there is still 1 leaf here for this cutting, so it's still okay. I'm just gonna chop this. I'm gonna just chop this right up because I don't want to end up breaking more. Okay, so like I said, a lot of these have already been chopped, but I do need to still do some. So, all right, so here's this long vine. This one was running, this whole vine here was running across the top of my grow tent. It was like almost to the grid system I have. It was like headed that way. So I figured, you know what? Before now it looked pretty cool. I was kind of sad to cut it because it would be kind of, I have been leaving vines like this growing just to really get like this awesome jungle look in my grow tent, which it is definitely looking like a jungle in there. But anyway, I'm chopping this up. So what is this? This is a Hoya colina, species Biak, I believe is the full name of this one. What I love about this one is it can sun stress like this really pretty orange, really like a pale yellow orange color. Now, this here was touching the light, so this is actually too much, too much sun stress. It actually burned the leaf. Yeah, that's too much. You don't want to do that. You don't want a burnt leaf, but when it sun stresses, it is a pretty orange color. Okay, so this is the top of the vine here. So this is what this tippy top part here is what is continuing to grow. Down here is the bottom, and this is where I'm going to start cutting from. So when I make my cuts for Hoyas, well, first of all, I don't need, oh no, don't do that, Gina. I do need all this. Okay, so let me just stand up so you can see. So here, we're gonna keep all this. The nice thing about this also is it has aerial roots already, which are going to, this is the roots. These are gonna grow in the soil. So what I do is I cut right above the leaf, right? I'm gonna stick my scissors back there. Can you see that? That's where I'm gonna make my first cut. Just like that. So here is our first little propagation. Cool, right? Very cool. Okay, with this, oh, and here is more blood. Okay, so with this Hoya colina, each pot is gonna have 2, oh, I just dripped on my table. This is why I had my potting mat, so I didn't get it all over my table. I'm gonna have to clean that up. Okay, here is a second cut. So each pot is gonna be 2 cuttings. Sometimes I just do 1 cutting. Sometimes I do 2. Sometimes I do 5. I have to be careful here. It's gonna drip. Okay, I need to clean that up. Hang on. I don't wanna stain my tabletop. So I should have had some cleaner on the ready. I kind of do. Cleaner. Just gonna clean that away. And I'm gonna leave my cleaner here for future cleanups. Okay, So we have our first 2 cuttings, and I'm just going to keep going, cutting more. Try not to cut off the leaves when I do it. Here's one. So then while these are callousing, we can pot up the other stuff that's already been cut. See, this is a big, we don't need all this extra stem here, so I'm going to shorten that stem, because this is all we need to stick in the pot. Again, it's a little bit longer than what we need, although here there's a tiny little leaf coming out there. There is a lot of sap or wax dripping everywhere. This is actually a pretty thick stem. It's not easy to cut through. It looks like it would be easy because it's green. Usually when they're woody, like when they're brown and woody, that is difficult to get through. And usually this would be easier, but it's surprisingly tough to get through. Am I getting confused here? I am. What did I do? All right, this one got messed up. I lost track of what I was doing, and now the part of the stem that is going to go into the soil is teeny tiny. It's just barely any, but it is enough, even though it's just like just minuscule little piece. Here it is. Gosh, look at this. It like splatters everywhere. See how it's just teeny tiny, but there is still a tiny little root there. It'll still grow. It's still usable. Okay, stop losing track of what you're doing. Just gonna go quickly, get through this. All right, so that is done. So this is what we're left with. Now you could stick this into, you could stick it into some moss, like in a bin filled with moss, and you will get leaves growing out of this. See, all these aerial roots will root into your moss, and it will start at the nodes. Here's your node right here, that little bump there. In between, there's aerial root here, aerial root here. In the middle is the node. From there, you will get growth, you will get leaves. So this, if you stick it into a bin of moss, this will grow. So you could do that. I'm not going to do that because I don't need it. I don't need that much. I just don't need that much. Okay, so we have Beacensis. No, not Beacensis. Collina, Hoya collina, species Beac. They're very similar actually. Hoya Beacensis and the Hoya collina. Quite similar. They look very similar. Okay, those are going to callus. Next, which one are we going to do? We're going to do this cool one. So this here, I'm sure you guys know what this is. This is the Hoya discipulae. So I can make, let's see, I can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can make 5 propagations out of this. So once again, I'm going to cut above this leaf. That's my first. It's my first cutting. Now with this one, these are going to be just 1 cutting per pot. So with the collina, we're doing 2 cuttings. We're just doing 1. This one has little flowers. So last time I propagated this one, actually we propagated together. Last time I did it, some of them kept the flowers and some of them dropped the flowers, or they just like yellowed and fell off. So it's, you know, you never know. But these guys flower so easily that even if I lose, even if that drops, even if it's goes away, there's going to be plenty more flowers. It's such a cool plant. Readily flowers. And this one. So we have 5. We should have, yes, we have 5 of those. So those are going to callus while we do other stuff. And then this one, do you know what this is? It kind of just looks like a tree leaf, like a branch, a little branch from a tree outside, doesn't it? Does to me. This is Hoya campanulata splash. Look at that beautiful splash too. So out of this one, we only get 3, but that's okay. That's okay. I didn't want to cut any more for my mother plants. I only had this much to spare at this time. So I do have others of this one growing in my grow tent right now. I think I have like, well, I know I posted one in my plant shop update for this week. And then I think I have like 2 or 3 more for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, so these will be backups. These will be growing. Will be growing out. Anyway, okay, I'm going to chop these the exact same way. The thing I love about this plant, ooh, kind of tough. First cutting. What I love about this plant is its beautiful flowers. It gets like big, beautiful flowers. Yeah, they're amazing. 2 and 3. All right, so those are done. So now everything else is cut. So everything else has been cut for a couple of hours. So we can go ahead and start potting these up. And while we're doing that, these will be curing. I don't know. We'll call it curing. Okay, so exciting stuff in here. First one, we're going to be potting. This is Hoya coriaceae silver. So I have this one, and this one. So I only have 3, which is okay. That's okay. That's all I had. That's all I wanted to chop at this time. So now this one is interesting because, like I said, it's Hoya coriaceae silver. But as you can see, it has put out this amazing mottled silver, like splashy. Like it's not like the coriaceae silver is typically, the leaves are almost entirely silver, but it has like turned to this, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of hard to see, but it's just like splotches of silver on this gorgeous green backdrop. Yeah, it's amazing. So I don't know if it's like now considered a Hoya coriaceae splash maybe? I don't know, I just heard a loud noise. I think it was a truck. Okay, so here is how I'm going to pot this. I'm just gonna push it right into the soil like that. I kind of wish I made that. I hate when I do that. Kind of wish it was a little bit shorter. I like it to be shorter, but you know what? I'm gonna cut it shorter. Why do I do that to myself? I should know better. Just cut it shorter from the get-go. See, I'm gonna cut off like that much extra. And now I'm gonna have to let this, callus again. I'm gonna do the same with this one. It's a little bit too long, I think. Just gonna cut a little extra off of there. And this one, yeah, I'm gonna just, this one's not quite as bad, but I'm still, since we have to wait on the other ones, I'm just gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Okay. Coriaceae silver. temporary hold on that one. Okay, let's do something else fun. I have these. So this is Hoya polynera variegated. This one is elbow marginata. Outside variegation on the margins. This is ready to go, so we're gonna pot that up. Okay, so here is what we do. We just stick it right into the soil. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So now, once these are done, I'll take them to my grow tent. I think it might be a truck. We're having some weird weather. See how I did that? Did you see that? Just drop it right in there. So it's stormy today. We've had storms. I was in the grow tent and I heard this big loud crash. I can't hear anything in my grow tent, but I heard this like loud, super loud crash. Well, I guess it was thunder. That's what my family said. It was a big loud thunder. And then now it's like smoky because apparently there was a fire caused by lightning. So it's like all smoky outside, and yeah, and it's like super windy, and we're expecting big storms today. So it's just kind of a crazy day. Luckily right now it is bright again. It was really dark. I was like, oh, this isn't gonna work well for me making videos because it's gonna be way too dark. Okay, so the polynera variegated is done. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pots of that one. I have another polynera. I have the silver, or also I believe they call it Propagate, maybe, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So I think I have more of this than the variegated. So we're just gonna plop it right in there. Easy peasy. Did I say once these go to my grow tent, I will then water them again down there? And let's see, this one, look all pretty. And you see these little bumps here on the side. They're like little white bumps. That's the aerial. That's where the roots are gonna come out. Roots will form right from that. So I put these into my grow tent, which has very high humidity, which is very helpful for growing roots. Warm temperature, don't let them dry out till they get established, they get roots growing. And if you don't have something like that to put your propagations in, obviously you're probably not going to have 40 propagations to deal with. If you just have like 1 or 2, you could stick this into like a Ziploc bag or even like a bin like this. Just get a bunch of bins like this, stick it in there, put the top on, and you can, this is right here. This is your grow tent right here. Easy, right? Anyone can do that. Anyone has space. I would think you would have space for just something this little. You don't need a big grow tent. This is all you need. Okay, I think that is all. Yes, that is all the polyneras. The next one we're gonna do, this is a really pretty one. So this here, look how pretty that is. So this is Hoya Sprinkles. And I believe Hoya Sprinkles is a cross between the Hoya Carnosa and the Hoya Crinkle 8, I believe. Yeah, and it just gives you that really, I love the dark green of the leaves with just the splashy sprinkles. It's adorable. I have a few of these. Hopefully you can see, I'm just pushing them right in. These also have the little bumps, which will be your roots. This is really really pretty Hoya. And, oh, see now that one wants to pop up a little bit. So I'll kind of put it in at the side there. If you kind of angle it in, because the leaves when the leaves are kind of stiff like this, it wants to pop it back up out of the pot. So if you put it in at like an angle, usually that works to keep it from popping out. Okay, so let's see here. We have another. Is this that? I believe this. I thought maybe it was a top cut, but yeah, this was the top cut of the vine, and I had removed the vine because I don't want that extra top vine on it. But that's why these leaves are a little bit smaller and not quite as green, because these are newer leaves. Okay, that is done, isn't it? Do we have one more? We have one more. One more Hoya sprinkles. There. Now it is done. How many did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 of the Hoya sprinkles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the silver and 5 of the variegated polynera. All right, so I have 4 left here, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too bad. That's okay. So this next one I'm going to be potting up. I can't believe I did this, you guys. You just saw this mother plant in if you watched my plant shop update video on Friday, I showed you this plant. It's my Hoya manipurensis. I can't believe I chopped it, but I chopped it. And I have 1, 2, 5. I have 5 cuttings to pot up. So even though it's sad to chop my mother plant, I'm going to have 5 new plants of this Hoya. So that kind of makes it easier. Look how pretty. I love this Hoya. It is such a unique leaf. It's kind of similarly shaped to Hoya Dakie, kind of that, just kind of like almost rectangular shape to it. However, this one is a much smaller leaf, and it's much thinner. It's a much thinner leaf. Here is the top cut. You know it's the top cut because you have, look at this tiny little leaf coming out here. This is going to continue to grow. So like this one is going to have to push out a brand new vine from the node here. So a brand new vine will come out here. This vine right here is the original vine, and it's just going to continue to grow. This one doesn't have to push out another vine. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they will push out a second vine, but it doesn't have to. But for these to grow, it has to push out a new vine. Nothing's going to come out of this cut. I don't know if you can see it. See that cut right there? That's going to die off. That's the old stem. Nothing will come out of that. It'll be new growth between that stem and this petiole of this leaf. Some new growth will pop out of there. That's how that works, in case you didn't know. It almost looks like a heart shape. It's very pretty. I don't want to drip everywhere, but look how pretty that is. That is gorgeous. Love it. Okay, I have one more. This is a full completed tray. So we have Hoya polynera variegated, Hoya polynera silver, Hoya sprinkles, and Hoya manipurensis in this tray. So I'm gonna go move this out of the way real quick. And we're gonna get our next tray. I don't want to put my armpit in your face. My table was a little bit wet. Okay. So this tray is going to be filled with all our fresh cuts we just made. and one lone manipurensis. The last manipurensis. I'll stick it here so you can see me plant it. Okay, I think these are ready. I think it has been long enough. They're no longer wet. They're no longer bleeding. So I think it's okay to start potting these up. So remember, this is the Hoya coriaceae silver, very splashy. Move back here so you can see. Goes in very nicely. These root up pretty fast, and they grow pretty fast too. Yeah, they're awesome plants. Here's the other one. This one's gonna be a little bit more difficult because it has two big, giant, floppy ears. Looks like ears. So I'm gonna try and angle that one in. I have a feeling this leaf is not gonna cooperate. It's not. Let's see if I push it in at an angle. This one I'm gonna need a pin. If you don't know what a pin is, I'm gonna go get a pin real quick. I'll show you what a pin is. Okay, so sometimes, these are pins. Sometimes I give these away. Like when I sell my plants and I they look like little party favors when I package them all up. But I'll give a little package with some clips, or sometimes I stick, this is a pin, stick the, sometimes I wonder when I send these out if people look at this, they open their package and they're like, what the heck? What the heck am I supposed to do with this? So this is a pin. So what you do is you just, and I know you can't see, but you just pin down your plant into the soil. It just holds it in. My soil is pretty chunky, so it's not doing a very good job. Yeah, it's holding it down. There we go. It just holds it in. It pins it down. I brought the whole bag because I have a feeling I'm gonna need more with some of these other ones. So usually I stick the pin like right here between this leaf on this petiole, between the leaf and the stem. I just pin it in like that into the soil. So let's see how this one does. That one doesn't need a pin. And how many did I have? I guess I had 4. I didn't think I had that many. Did I do the wrong thing? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, this one I put in here, I think maybe the first one I put in. This is the Campanulata Splash. Looks kind of similar. They look kind of similar. See? A little similar. Leaf shape is a little different though. So, because I thought I only had like 2 of the Coriaceae, or 3 of the Coriaceae. All right, I'm getting myself confused. So this is the last Coriaceae going in. This is a Campanulata Splash. This also is a Campanulata Splash. And this is the Campanulata Splash. All right, so now let's do some Discipulae. 1. Oh, that goes in very nicely because it has such a thick stem. It just like goes in so nicely. I'm gonna try and put these on the side so the leaves can hang off the side and not get in the way. And this one, cute little, tiny little thing. Discipulae can go there. Although that stem is too big. I did it again. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna make it shorter. It's a little bit, just a little bit too big. So we'll let this one callus a little bit and we'll move on. Some of these are kind of big too. This is probably too big. But we're gonna move on to the the Colina species Biak. Each of these pots is gonna get 2 of this one. It wasn't too big. And we'll do this one with a single leaf since it has 2 leaves on the other cutting. We'll do a single leaf on that one. So that is what this pot will look like, a 2 cutting pot. Oh, I have another de stipule. This one can be potted. Cute. And Colina. This should go pretty quickly. Getting these Colinas in there. Let's look for a single leaf. Here's a single leaf. Look at those nice aerial roots. Oh. One thing that happens a lot is where I made my cut here and it's calloused or dried up. The blood has dried up, but it gets sticky. So if you accidentally touch it, sometimes you end up pulling the cutting out of the pot because your hand sticks to the sticky part of that stem. Does that happen to anybody else? It happens to me all the time. And it's actually kind of annoying when it happens. So I'm looking for mostly like 2 leaf cuttings and then 1 leaf cuttings per pot. Which so far has been working out really well. I have had that. That one almost pulled out because the sticky stuck to my finger, but it didn't. Thankfully, it did not. That one also almost did it. And this one, that is this tiny little stem, goes this way. We'll see if that'll stay. I'll just kind of bury it in there. Yeah, it stays. Just kind of buried it in there. And then we have 1 final pot. Wow, that worked out perfectly. So that one is a 2 leaf and a 1 leaf cutting. Those are done. And then our final, there's not much, it's fine to pot. Our final little de stipule. And I am done. Yay, I'm done. Another full tray. So we have 3 of the Coriaceae silvery splash. We have 3 of the Campanulata splash. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 5 de stipule. And then the rest is the Colina. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like 8 of the Hoya Colina. So now I have to find space. Let me go grab the other tray so you can see all of them. All of them together. How fun is that? Oops. Pretty exciting, right? So that is it. I got that chore done. Did you guys get any chores done? hopefully maybe you got something done or you just had fun watching me do this. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. Let me know if you are doing any propagating also. Like I said, I'm sure no one else out there is doing the quantity that I am doing. But you know, who knows? Maybe you are. Maybe you're going to a plant swap, or maybe you have a plant shop, or you sell on Facebook Marketplace, or you're doing trades with friends. Yeah, this is fun. This is my happy place right here. So, all right, you guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.